Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a new fill layer and gradient again. Click on that, and we're going to change the gradient type to noise. And increase that to about 82%. Click OK, and now we're going to change our angle like so, and we're going to uncheck that align with layer, so that way we have the freedom to move around wherever we need to go. And now we're going to change the screen mode. Double click and we can kind of move it wherever we need to. So let's go ahead and put it where the light is, right about there. Click OK, and now we're going to need to desaturate those colors. So let's go to new adjustment layer, hue saturation, and go ahead and check on that box right underneath that says use previous layer to create the clipping mask, and that is only going to affect the gradient fill and not the background. So let's bring down that saturation, and actually I'm going to bump it to about 92% and change the hue and saturation because I kind of want like a warmer color there. There we go. So I've got -62 and -92. And now let's go to new adjustment, layer, and levels. Again, we're doing that same little check box right there because we're only going to affect the gradient fill and not the background. Click OK. And just bring up my midtones, sliding that over to the right. Bring it those highlights, bringing those over to the left. And there we go. So I'm bringing the shadows down just a smidge more. And there. So now I'm going to add a sampler to the lens flare. And let's go ahead and select that and convert it to a smart object. And now we're going to go to filter, blur, actually blur gallery, sorry. We're going to go to the iris blur. You can adjust that blur right there. That's bringing it up. You can also go over here on that slider. And I'm going to just scale this thing back up actually. Let's move this over here. And see those points? I'm just going to bring those in because it's basically going to fade that blur. Click OK. And I'm going to add just a little bit more blur to it. So we're going to go to blur, Gaussian blur, do about 3.9, 4.2, there we go. And there we go. We've created some nice flare happening there, and you can adjust the overall opacity. Let's do about 75%. And there we go. Alright, so let's see your plays in the Facebook group. Thanks everybody.